Hello students, welcome to Ashish Polala classes. Today in the present lecture of Indian Constitution, I am going to discuss with you the salient features of Indian Constitution which is usually asked in the examination. In the salient feature of Indian Constitution, I divide my videos into 4 to 5 parts. When we are going to study the salient feature of Indian Constitution, we will study the Constitution as a whole. Indian Constitution is a unique type of constitution because of the content and because of the spirit which is contained in the Constitution of India. Although many provisions of the Indian Constitution had been borrowed from the constitutions of other countries, even then, our Constitution of India has certain essential features which makes our constitution different from the constitution of other countries. But it is very also important to note here that number of original features of Indian Constitution which was adopted in the year 1949 when it has been enacted, it have undergone a substantial changes because of various amendment which has been made in the constitution by the parliament by the virtue of power which is contained in article 368 of the Indian constitution. Article 368 of the constitution deals with the amendment of the constitution. Out of the various amendment, the 42nd constitutional amendment is very landmark amendment because 42nd Amendment Act 1976 is called to be the mini constitution because large number of amendments, large number of changes were made in the Indian constitution during the 42nd constitutional amendment. In the case of Keshwan Bharti versus State of Kerala, AIR 1973 Supreme Court 1461, which is a landmark judgment in the history of Indian Constitution, the Supreme Court of India held that while exercising the power under Article 368 of the Indian Constitution, Indian Parliament cannot alter the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. That means to say, amendment is allowed, but while doing the amendment, Indian Parliament cannot alter the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. What is the meaning of basic structure of the Indian Constitution? These are those provisions of the Indian Constitution which cannot be amended. So I will upload a detailed video on the basic structure of Indian Constitution as well. But now today I am going to start the salient feature of Indian Constitution. The first feature of Indian Constitution is that it is the written constitution. What is the meaning of written constitution? Written constitution is that constitution under which all the provisions of the constitution can be found in one place in one barrack. And if we are talking about our Indian constitution, then it is an example of written constitution in which all the provisions of the constitution can be found in one place in one barrack. If you need any clarification in any provision of the Indian constitution, then that can be clarified from the bare act of Indian constitution itself. Whereas the constitution of UK is unwritten constitution in which all the information cannot be found in one place. But we are very lucky that we have our written constitution in which all the provisions of the constitution can be found in one place in one bare act. Second feature of Indian constitution is that in our India, the constitution of India is considered to be the supreme law or supreme lex in India. What is the meaning of supreme lex? Supreme lex means the law which is the supreme law. Indian constitution is the supreme lex in India, and in which we are going to study the basic or fundamental law. Now the question arises, why the constitution of India is said to be the basic law of India? Because the validity of the other laws which are going to be enacted by the legislature, it is immaterial whether the legislature is a central legislature or state legislature. The validity of other laws which are going to be enacted by the legislature is determined by the Indian constitution. All the laws which are going to be made by the legislature cannot violate the basic provisions of the Indian constitution. What will happen if the legislature will make any law which will violate the basic provision of the Indian constitution? The answer is that if at any time the legislature makes any law which violate the basic provision of the Indian constitution, then that law made by the legislature can be challenged before the judiciary. And if the judiciary, while exercising the power of judicial review, finds that the law which was made by the legislature violate any provision of the Indian constitution, then that law can be declared as unconstitutional by the judiciary. There are number of laws which were made by the legislature and has been declared as unconstitutional by the judiciary. We will discuss all those laws in the next videos as well. The third feature of Indian constitution is that there is supremacy of the constitution. What is the meaning of supremacy of the constitution? There are three organs of the government of India. They are legislature, executive, and judiciary. And if one of them, if one of them feels that we are very superior, then they are very wrong. All these three organs of the government are created by the Indian constitution, and none of the organ in India is supreme in comparison to the Indian constitution. In India, Indian constitution is supreme and not any organ of the government. And all the three organs of the government, that means legislature, executive, and judiciary, they must act within the limitations of their power as fixed by the Indian constitution. The fourth essential feature of Indian constitution is that Indian constitution is the lengthiest written constitution. It is a very important feature of Indian constitution that throughout the world, if we see that Indian constitution is the lengthiest of all the written constitutions of the world. It is very comprehensive constitution. It is very elaborate and detailed document. When the constitution was made, then at its commencement in the year 1949, the Constitution of India contained a preamble, 395 articles, which 395 articles were divided into 22 parts and having the 8 schedules. But presently, this Constitution of India contained a preamble, about 470 articles, which are divided into 25 parts, and now the Constitution of India has 12 schedules instead of 8 schedules. What are the next salient feature of Indian Constitution? We will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you very much.